I realize I'm still muted. Okay, I've been muted. Okay. Nice title, bro. Yo, what's up? Wait, hold up. I'm changing it. I'm off. Hold up. This is unannounced stream. Hold up. It was a little unplanned. Hold up. I'm setting it up right now. Where's my music playlist? Yeah, I'm sorry. Clearly unplanned. I'm so sorry, guys. My bad. Oh man, why did YouTube change their entire members thing? Whenever for some reason, there's no membership page now. It's just all members are thrown up on recommendations and everything. So you get recommended member only videos. I'm like, I can't even watch these. You always do unannounced streams, bro. No need to put in the title. Okay, that's pretty funny. You know what? Yeah, you're right. Because oh man. I've been trying to stream less just for IRL. You know, I'm trying to spend time with loved ones here and there. You know, you never know how long you're gonna be with them, so I'm trying to make the best of it. And then I'm like, you know what, I can stream for a little bit. Hey, but you know what, Kevin, that was a good burn. I ain't gonna lie, that was a good burn. So that's why I didn't schedule stream today. But after an hour and a half, it's like, you know what, let me go live for a little bit. Okay, let's do this. The music ready. Chapter's ready. We're locked and loaded, and we're gonna go straight into it. After I turn on my light, because it's already getting dark in here. This thing is amazing, bro. I just played video games on my phone from this shit, dude. So fucking cool. It's fine, bro. Do what you want to do. I know. But also, I mean, I owe it to you guys. We're so close to the ending, bro. And it's not like I'm gonna just take a random month off, you know? No, it's okay. You know, we're spacing everything out just a little bit. That being said, though, let's get reading. Let's get to reading. Playing pervy games. What is this on my recommendation? Oh, that's definitely copyrighted music. I'm not even gonna attempt that one. Yeah, we're not even gonna bother with that video. It's a little too spicy. Back to peak? Yeah, we back to peak. It's back to peak. Music change. All right, Cammy, that's fucking pump, dude. That's hype. All right, music change in a few chapters. Let's see how much we can knock out in roughly 2 hours. I'm thinking 5 chapters, but we might be able to read more. All right, let's go, bro. Let's just get right into reading. I'm half asleep, so I'll put in a spoiler chat for others to tell you if I do fall asleep. No, that's okay. All right, let's go right into it. Chapter 1220 is called A Curtain. All right, let's just go right into it, man. You know what? You know who it is. You know what we're here to read. All right, we're here to read Peak, and we're here to finish Peak before Wiz, because we know he's only reading on weekend now. But he's only reading on weekends, so there is hope. There is hope. Okay, we have hope. There is hope that we win again. There is hope that we take the lead. All right, let me get my time stamp before I forget. Go straight into it. 0 seconds. 40. I got food in my mouth because croissant, dude. How did you just know I had a croissant? I just had a croissant before I went live. I just ate. I haven't brushed my teeth. Is Wiz on volume 6 too? No, he's on volume 8. Whose arm? He's almost done. But it's okay. We're gonna finish before him. He's only reading on weekends now. Chapter 1220 is called A Curtain. God is here to save us. The words spoken to stop. You know what? The music is way too hype. Let's chill a little bit. I think I'm just playing that for the intro right now. God is here to save us. Now we raise the volume. I gotta get used to YouTube music. The words spoken in a sob-filled voice echoed at the entrance of Moon City, causing the residents who were waiting to fall into a trance. At the edges of the grayish-white fog, a fire quietly burned. After eating another batch of mushrooms, Klein dispelled the iron-black skewer in his hand and looked up at the crater described by Moon City's highest priest Nim. He then reached out with his right hand and gently pulled, dragging himself out of the 15 minutes ago. After exchanging looks, Klein's true form rapidly vanished and entered the fog of history. He ran all the way to a time before the first epoch, and he sat in the old stacked cities. Oh shit. His historical projection stood up and snagged his fingers repeatedly, flashing through the crimson flames as he headed for his destination. Back to our world? Back to our time? When the crater that was once a hill was... Oh, shit, wait. We're seeing what's inside? When the crater that was once a hill was almost right in front of him, he stopped. He cautiously extended his right hand and pulled Conus Kilger out of the void. The burly Earl of the Fallen's facial muscles twitched as he quickly transformed into another German Sparrow. He took out a lantern from the fog of history with one hand and rubbed his temples with the others as he muttered softly, "Why does the marionette have to change its appearance? There's no one else here." I can't develop OCD after a few... Yeah, you're right. If he's the only one, why change him? A few seconds later, the marionette's projection carried a lantern that emitted faint yellow light as it walked towards the crater not far away. As the light flickered, Klein saw his target location and realized that it wasn't too deep. The difference between the bottom and the ground wasn't more than 2 meters. Of course, compared to the original hill, this change was indeed huge. Inside the crater, the soil was smooth and there was a few rocks in it. There were many twisted mutated plants around whose species were different to distinguish. It looked no different from other plants. After observing for a while, Klein, who was stealthily activated his spirit body threads and spirit body threads vision, slowly entered the crater, planning on following his pre-planned route and reassessing everything worth paying attention to. As he walked, he frowned slightly and let out an exclamation. He realized that his thoughts had turned sluggish, but it didn't affect his thinking. It was as if he slept too much and had just woken up, having a heavy head with insufficiently active thoughts. This was a situation that a person would occasionally experience. Beyonders of the other pathways might not be able to detect it. More eerie, serious music. I got you. This was a situation that a person would occasionally experience. Beyonders of the other pathways might not be able to detect it, but as a demigod of the sheer pathway, Klein could clearly sense something amiss. This could work. This is kind of eerie. If it were any deeper, it would be close to the effect when a marionette controls spirit body threads. The influence... Yeah, we just started. The influence left behind by the dark demonic wolf Koter, that's not right. If he didn't mean to leave it behind, it means that he showed his complete mythical creature form back then. That would have resulted in Moon City's investigation team in breaking down and losing control. If he had intentionally left it behind, what would be the purpose? Telling the others that he was here. Klein circled the area in puzzlement, but he couldn't discover any anomalies. Like, oh, like I'm here? Why? After some thought, he let his main body that was hiding the historical void in a time before the first epoch take 4 steps counterclockwise as he recited the incantation and went above the great fog. He wanted to do a divination. Yeah, sorry, we just didn't even plan stream. I'm so sorry, guys. With the exact time and location, Nim's description, a real-world survey of the area, as well as the lighting up some of the historical fragments, he believed that the prerequisites for making a divination had basically been met. That didn't meet it enough. Wait, this didn't mean it was enough, but that he would have barely given it a try. Besides, if the hill turned into a crater incident that had something to do with Sephiric Castle and him, then the chances of a successful divination would greatly increase. The revelations would be very clear and not be interfered with. Without any further thoughts, he sat on the fool's high back chair. He conjured a dark red fountain pen and yellow parchment and wrote, June 28th, of 1349, the day he transmigrated. Oh shit, dude. Of the 5th epoch, the anomaly that happened here. Oh shit. I just looking to say your YouTube channel has one. Dude, I know, man. Our YouTube channel has 1 million views. Dude, Missy, you beat me to it. I was gonna do a channel post. I think 200,000 views was Gura from a short, but you know what? It's crazy, dude. He put down the fountain pen and grabbed it with his left hand. He pulled out a handful of crater souls from the fog of history to use it as a medium for divination. With one hand holding the soul and the other holding the parchment, he leaned back into his chair and recited the divination statement 7 times. Then, with the help of cogitation, he fell asleep. In the hazy dream world, Klein saw the grayish-white fog solidified. He saw the hill that was tens of meters high and the twisted vegetation around it. A few seconds later, the fog began to churn and rapidly vomited a black shadow. The black shadow was like a huge velvet curtain, madly absorbing all the light around it. Its translucency increased as it completely enveloped the hill. Following that, the hill vanished without a trace, leaving behind only a crater. The strange plants at the edge of the crater were also suddenly covered and had black illusionary spirit body threads that extended towards the different parts of the black curtain. The black curtain? I remember the first episode. We saw a red curtain. Oh, shit! Wait! Episode 1! It's like the red curtains when he... Oh, wait. It just clicked right now. It just clicked. The curtain became more and more transparent as the illusionary until it reached a point where one couldn't see it with the naked eye. If not for the fact that he had spirit body threads vision to observe the reality of the scene, Klein wouldn't have been able to discover that the curtain had been covering the crater's surface. The curtains are covering the crater surface. The scene flashed and Dreamscape twisted to reveal a new scene. Moon City 5-man patrol team approached and discovered that a crater had been replaced at the hill that had vanished. They stopped in their tracks and left the area without hesitation. They didn't rationally investigate. After an unknown period of time, a gigantic figure suddenly appeared in another direction. It was it's a demonic wolf. The demonic wolf covered in dark fur with 8 legs. It was about 4 to 5 meters tall. The demonic wolf had raised his head and opened his mouth, and he thought he was screaming, but nothing happened. Okay. And the next second, a figure appeared in front of him. It was this is so weird for people just listening. And the next second, a figure appeared in front of him. It was another him. The dark demonic wolf's historical projection did a simple step with his 8 legs, and he instantly arrived beside the crater. Now he will forget Trissy for this enlightenment. No, we will never forget her, because she's coming back. I know she's coming back. And the next second, a figure appeared in front of him. It was another him. The dark demonic wolf historical projection did a simple step with his 8 legs, and he instantly arrived beside the crater. After he surveyed the area, he carefully lowered his hand and picked up the completely transparent curtain that had made the entire hill disappear. The curtain suddenly came alive as it rapidly contracted and spun. It wrapped around the black demonic wolf as if it was adding a half-black translucent piece of clothing to him. The dark demonic wolf trembled slightly as if it had become a clothed marionette in 2 to 3 seconds. However, this was only historical void projection. The next breath didn't happen as the main body stopped maintaining the projection. The curtain lost its support as it instantly collapsed and lay spread out on the ground. A dark demonic wolf quarter didn't give up. He occasionally transformed the monsters around him into marionettes or summoned historical projections, allowing them to go forward again and again. Experiencing all kinds of failures, however, in the end, he did his newest batch of marionettes still managed to pick up and control the curtain. The entire process was silent as though it was a mime act. Following that, the gigantic demonic wolf made the marionettes bring the curtain to him. At that moment, the grayish-white fog around him churned again, forming a vortex that was comparable to a hill. The vortex emitted an invisible suction force, causing the strange curtains and dark demonic wolf quarter to be thrown towards it at the same time. Such a scene caused a substantial ripple that appeared in the dreamscape. Countless points of light appeared, making it difficult for him to see the specific details. When everything returned to normal, dark demonic wolf quarter dropped the transparent curtain around him and rapidly flew away from the solidified. It flew away? Oh, because it's a historical void projection. Flew away from the solidified fog, and at that moment, the Moon City investigation team arrived and saw the ancient subsidiary god leave. Kotor glanced at them, but he didn't stop, vanishing into the darkness. At this point, the scene shattered and the dream ended. Klein woke up. He sat up straight and tapped the edge of the long model table with his fingers as he silently muttered, "It's not that there weren't any anomalies before it arrived. More likely is that the guards of the Moon City didn't discover it. After all, the fog extended outwards into an unknown limit." What's that curtain that was spat out by the grayish-white fog? Oh, what is that, bro? It can cover a hill when it's large, turning it into a crater. As though by magic, when it's small, it can be used as clothes, but the dark demonic wolf turning him into a marionette. It's like a high sequence item of the seer pathway. How the fuck does he know it's of the seer pathway? It's like a high sequence item of the seer pathway, a cloth. It was spat out because I entered the world above the great fog and completed the binding with Sephira Castle. It seemed to be able to turn the surrounding vegetation into marionettes. This gives me a familiar feeling. Yes, there was something wrong with the food laid out in the rooms of the foggy town back then. Spirit body threads were growing out of them, reaching out towards the core of the cathedral. Once they've been eating, one will instantly evaporate and vanish. Yes, they ended up hanging in the cathedral and becoming a marionette. In other words, once one reaches the level of miracle invoker or attendant of mysteries, one can make plants or objects with spirituality grow spirit body threads so as to turn them into marionettes. Is that curtain the beyond characteristics of a miracle invoker or an attendant of mysteries? Judging from the dark demonic wolf's performance, it might very well be the latter. This was a reason why one attendant of mysteries characteristics have been missing for a long period of time. There were only clues, but no one could find it. Before Sephira Castle had an owner, the grayish-white fog unconsciously attracted the high sequence characteristics of the 3 pathways across the accommodated them. What is it trying to do? That suction force is really very strong. It's frightened even dark. Even he's scared? It frightened even dark demonic wolf quarter. He didn't even stop, only having thoughts of escaping. What was he suspecting? Was he down an angel like dark demonic wolf? It would be unparalleled harvest. A very dark and demonic wolf indeed. Of course, the dark demonic wolf who now had the curtain was much harder to deal with than before. So he has the curtain. This matter had greatly reduced his confidence in succeeding. As his thoughts raced, he suddenly recalled something. From the timing of the sequence of events, the dark demonic wolf clearly had the curtain by the time he arrived in the northern city of Ruins Noise. He then turned the entire city into marionettes and created a marionette city. It wasn't to settle down, nor was it to accumulate helpers. It was to prepare for the ritual for... What? I gotta clear it with my girl. I think chat disconnected. Okay, are we back? Fuck it. Sunday we read all day. Fuck it. I said it. Sunday, laggy, test. Fuck it. Sunday we read all day. We start at 8 a.m. We fucking read all fucking day. We read until nighttime. All right? Fuck it. Sunday. All day, every day. I'm gonna do it because I love you guys. All right? I'm doing it because I love you guys. Because I love you guys. We're gonna do it. We're gonna fucking make it happen. We're gonna make it fucking happen, man. I do it because I care. And because I want to pass Wiz. We have hope. We have hope. We're only 150 chapters behind. And since we might not be streaming Friday to Sunday next week, we got to make up for lost time. 12 minutes. 57 seconds. Fuck it. Fuck it. Will the turtle beat the hare? Fuck it, man. This Sunday, we're reading all day, okay? All day. We're gonna see how far we can spoken like a true chat. We're gonna see how long we can make it. All right. I'm gonna be up bright and early. We're gonna be drinking a lot of coffee, but I'll do it for you guys because I don't know if I'm gonna be available next weekend. So we got to make up. Chapter 1. Wait, no, we don't have to make out. Wait, no, make up. We have to make up for future lost time. Chapter 1221 is called "Leaving a Message," and that's gonna be us leaving a message saying we can catch up whenever we want. But we're not gonna do it. Easy Geeky, it's you guys. If the dark demonic wolf really is preparing for the Attendant of Mysteries ritual, then his whereabouts won't lack traces. Klein nodded slowly. He already had some vague ideas on his mind, but he was still unable to truly sort them out. He instinctively wanted to divine the location of the curtain by using the soul that had been tainted by the curtain, so as to lock onto the location of the dark demonic wolf. However, considering how the latter was an angel, such a method would most likely alarm him, alerting him and causing him to take precautionary measures. Therefore, Klein would eventually gave up on his idea and returned to the real world. He thought hard about formulating a plan. The next day, when there was a high frequency of lightning, another batch of Moon City residents came to Gurman's bonfire under the leadership of a priest named Duke. They listened to his teachings, enjoyed the mushrooms, and waited to be cleansed. After the residents of Moon City experienced the cleansing, with tears streaming down their faces, Klein looked around and casually asked, "The sun god told you to guard this land and to take note of anyone walking out of the fog." Duke, who is gonna walk out of the fog? That's what I want to know. Speedrunning all the time. We're going to speedrun it. Duke, who had been cured of his bloated ailment, knew that the high priest had mentioned this matter to the oracle before him. He answered rather calmly, yes. Klein nodded slightly and continued on his topic. If you really discover something walking out of the fog, what would you need to do? Duke said without hesitation, recite the honorific name of the great sun god immediately and report this matter to him. As he spoke, his tone became very depressed, and in the end, he was unable to formulate his words. This was because the sun god, the creator, hadn't given any response for more than 2,000 years. Even though Moon City had held the most complete rituals and repeatedly chanted the honorific name, there had to be no response. Anything else, Klein pressed as he sharply noticed something. This was a revelation from his spiritual intuition and also a result of a certain degree of deduction. It was obvious that the ancient sun god and the City of Silver creator would have considered this a problem. One person was that the person who had walked out of the grayish-white fog was extremely careful. He was very cautious and didn't enjoy being watched or monitored. After discovering the patrol team in Moon City, he would be inclined to use his beyond powers to affect their minds, making them forget that they had seen him or recite the honorific name. In the situation, the ancient sun god should have made certain arrangements. Of course, this wasn't absolute. If Amon's father could accurately predict that the person walking out of the grayish-white fog was a rookie, that there was no need to say too much in Revelation. However, considering how the ancient sun god, the city of Silver's creator, had made an error in predicting where he would come out from the grayish-white fog, Klein was doubtful of an aforementioned possibility. Duke thought for a moment and hesitated before saying to welcome that person and told him a single word. Klein's spirits were immediately lifted as he asked without batting an eyelid. What word? Duke's lips quivered as though he was mimicking the pronunciation, then he changed it into strange tone. Chernobyl. Klein's mind froze for a second before he let out a silent sigh. The Lowen Kingdom, East Chester County, in a forest. The nearby villagers gathered here and plucked strange mushrooms that were covered in root, dead wood, and shrubs. According to the kingdom's laws, everything that grew in the forest belonged to its owner, Miss Audrey Hall. However, with the war escalating, the demand of food, and the high taxes, these factors made it so that the farmers could no longer care about breaking the law? Okay, good for them. It was something that needed to be considered only if they survived. Furthermore, with more people participating, they naturally became emboldened. They formed small teams and very efficiently plucked the mushrooms that were covering in golden stars of the marbling streaks. They were divided into two parts, and a small portion was reserved for consumption. Most of them were prepared to be sold to grain merchants without waiting outside of the forest to exchange for gold pounds, for salt, fabric, and other essential items. These farmers didn't go overboard. Other than the mushrooms, they only took a portion of the fruits of the trees. Okay, at least they're not going too crazy where they get stopped. They left behind what was sufficient for the rangers or the forest to submit to their masters. In just 2 to 3 hours, the farmers sold large amounts of mushrooms and fruits. Okay, so they're smart about it. With the gold pounds in hand, they returned to their hamlets with beaming smiles. To them, everything that happened today was that they wanted to do and what they had also achieved to their predetermined goals. The grain merchant who sold a full bread was equally happy because this was an unexpected harvest. With the present situation, he could earn a lot of money. He led the workers with him to move large amounts of mushrooms and fruits to the processing point outside the city. After making the necessary agreements, he placed them all in the warehouse. As a meticulous businessman, he checked the warehouse again after sending the workers away. After confirming that there were no mistakes, he closed the door and locked it. At this moment, he saw a thick wad of cash on the ground. They were all 10-pound notes. When did I drop so much money? The grain merchant bent down in joy and picked up the stack of notes. As he counted, he suddenly recalled the origins of the money. There were the profits from selling the mushroom powder, dried mushroom, and dried fruits. How generous! The bearded businessman sighed in satisfaction and turned to leave the warehouse. Inside the warehouse, Audrey, who was wearing the light blue dresses, removed her psychological invisibility and took out a black spot. This was the traveler's bag that she had rented from Shio. Following that, the blonde, simply-looking Audrey easily threw bags of food into the black pocket. After doing all this, she took out a hard-covered bronze notebook and flipped to a page with teleportation. This was from Thor's Layman's Travels, and what had conspired her was secretly manipulated by Audrey. She first gave the first growing mushrooms provided by Mam Hermit to the animals in the woods. With their help, she planted all because of Audrey. With their help, she planted them at suitable spots. Following that, she influenced the farmers in the surrounding hamlets, strengthening their inner desires and making them overcome their fear of the law. Damn, look at her, dude. And that grain merchant happened to pass by and discover it happened. This sort of manipulation of a person's heart was intoxicating, like a master of all beings. However, Audrey didn't smile at all. Instead, she sighed softly. It's still not enough. I'm still lacking plenty. Lots. The mushrooms she had obtained wasn't the type that Little Sun could still absorb the flesh and blood of monsters and flourish. They needed sufficient nutrients to rapidly grow. Therefore, there was no way to plant a second batch of mushrooms in the forest in a short time. Otherwise, it was very likely to become a desert. Staring at the empty cloth bags that had been emptied out, Audrey's green eyes flashed. She couldn't help but drink. A large amount of food is concentrated at the church, the royal family, the military government, the nobles, and the businessmen. Let's change the music. And the businessmen. There are also some of the Phasic, Intis, and Fainted Potter, but we know how many things you'll have to move with only the traveler's bag. Manipulating the nobles, as we loop the song, manipulating the nobles, businessmen, and military personnel is very dangerous. I might be discovered if I'm not careful. If the situation hadn't deteriorated to such a state, I might have never known that some people would have such a side to them. Mushroom production goes burr. We need to up it, man. We got to start growing our own mushrooms in here. If the situation hadn't deteriorated to such a state, I might have never known that some people would have such a side to them. When the environment and circumstances are different, the masks that everyone wears are different. So I have to take note of this in the future. As her thoughts raised, Audrey, who lacked experience in handling such matters, decided to seek Mr. World advice to see if he had any suggestions. As the world, Grim and Sparrow had been walking alone in the uninhabited, forsaken lands of the gods. He was surrounded by darkness and despair. Audrey suggested that she could seek her out regularly for psychological counseling. This might not necessarily imply any treatment. A casual chat could effectively relieve the pressure, loneliness, and misery. Gerben Sparrow followed his doctor's advice, and from their chats, Audrey knew that apart from asking for her medical advice, this powerhouse adventurer would also gossip with Mr. Star above the Great Fog from time to time, maintaining a rather good state of mind. They gossip? I wonder what the fuck they're gossiping about. With this decision, Audrey immediately activated her traveling ability and returned to Backland, but on second thought, she felt a little depressed. This was because she knew that even if the gathering a large amount of food, she could only quell the residents of Backland for some time. If the war didn't end, the situation would still worsen. War. Audrey closed her eyes. She had no idea how she could stop it. She had learned from Mam Hermer that the nature of this war was very likely to be a battle of gods. And the prelude to a battle of gods had always been very consistent. It was to spend a certain amount of time and strengthen to shank the anchors of their opponents. Oh, man. The gossip be Klein's sexuality? With Klein? I don't know, man. I truly wonder what they gossip about. I truly wonder what they gossip about. After some thought, Audrey pursed her lips and decided to start with what she could do. You know what? Don't slander my goat. You know what? I can see how people ship them. Manipulating the nobles, businessmen, and military personnel is very dangerous. I might be discovered if I'm not careful. If this situation hadn't deteriorated to such a state, I might have never known that some people would have such a side to them. When the environment and circumstances are different, the masks that everyone wears are different. I'm in a fucking time loop. After some thought, Audrey pursed her lips and decided to start with what she could do. Wow, I was about to read that whole fucking page. Just because I was distracted by the shipping post, by the shipping comment. As the notebook emitted a misty glow, her figure quickly turned transparent and disappeared. Beside the quietly burning bonfire, Klein, who had just sent away the guests from Moon City, couldn't help but recall the words Blasphemer Mons had said before. He said that there were many clues and things in the past that he wanted to explore that were buried deep within Chernobyl. The ancient sun god had also specifically emphasized Chernobyl. I wonder if Amon's waiting there. Amidst his thoughts, he suddenly had the urge to explore Chernobyl. No fucking way, dude. This wasn't considered rash. It was something he had always wanted to do. However, he didn't dare to do so because of Amon. I've been heading east for more than half a year. Who would have thought that I would have suddenly arrived at Chernobyl? Oh shit, we're here. Amon had obtained the last worm of time beyond a characteristic and is preparing for the ritual. It's impossible for his true body to still be in Chernobyl. Yes, he is very patient, kings of angels. Perhaps his avatars have been waiting in Chernobyl all this time. After analyzing the present situation, Klein decided to let a projection from the historical void make an attempt. No fucking way, dude. In any case, he would never head there directly with his actual body. After making up his mind, Klein went above the Great Fog to do a divination. Then he returned to the real world and reached out his hand to grab into the void, dragging his past self from 5 minutes ago. As the main body disappeared, his projection gained consciousness. Following that, he grabbed a few times and took out the black staff embedded with the many stars. The staff of the stars. I was gonna get good. He wanted to use the power of the staff of stars to directly teleport to Chernobyl. By the way, you can't catch up to Wiz Sunday since he finishes the book Sunday. How many chapters does he have left, Cammy? I thought he still had like 100 chapters. Does he have more than 100 chapters left? I thought he was at 1350. Is he not at 1350? I thought he was at 1370. Isn't the last chapter 1470? That's 100 chapters. Wait, no, he fuck. Shit, man. Fuck. He's over 100 chapters? Fuck. He has less than 100 chapters left? Fuck. Shit, man. Fuck. Is he actually finishing Sunday? Fuck. Never mind. Never mind. Son of a bitch. Fuck. We fucking lost? Fuck. Oh, I'm sad. I'm fucking bummed out. Oh, so this is what we do. We finish volume 6 before Sunday, and we make him read, and we make him do the discussion with us, and we take away from him reading the finale, so he has to postpone it another week. You lost like 2 months ago, brother, man. I know. Yeah, I guess we just got to call out for the next 3 days, huh? I guess we're just skipping work, man. 1432 with side stories. Shit. All right, timestamp. Let's keep reading. 24 minutes. 16 seconds. Then you can catch up. Damn. All right. Well, we'll finish all the side stories before him. I'll tell you that much. You know, even though we lost the battle, we're not going to lose the war, okay? I'll tell you guys that much. Ah, man. Bro, you can pray to Amon to steal Wiz's memories of the chapters. Please steal his time. Please steal it. Please steal it. All right, chapter 1222 is called Research Facility. Oh, shit. All right, here we go. Here we go. All right, we're going to Chernobyl. Research Facility. When he heard of the Staff of Stars, music changed at the end of this chapter when you read from the beginning of the Bronze Door in the Hall of Truth. I'll send in chat. Bet. Thank you. Thank you, Cami. So once we finish it, when we have a scene change, when he heard of the Staff of Stars, Klein pulled out a gold coin out of the thin air with his other hand and flicked it. As the gold coin tumbled, a revelation from his divination appeared in his mind. It was an extremely deep ravine. At the bottom of it was a thick and vast building that was covered in layers of grayish-white fog. Every detail was restored to the Chernobyl that Klein had seen at the beginning. However, it didn't originate from the spirit world, but from his own subconscious. Using the techniques of the dream divination, he reproduced the images he had seen in his mind. At that moment, the scene was completed, and the gems embedded in the Staff of the Stars emitted a faint of glow. It instantly vanished along with Klein's historical void projection, and it appeared above the grayish-white building. In just a second, Klein returned from the easternmost front of the forsaken lands of the gods to Chernobyl. This was one of the main powers of the Staff of Stars. If the corresponding scene that surfaced in his mind of the wielder still existed in the real world, then the Staff of the Stars could allow them to cross all obstacles and distances directly descending to their desired destination. Of course, the prerequisite was that the outline scene had to be absolutely correct and not visually be any different from the original. The reason why he had chose the deep ravine from Chernobyl was located and not the... Oh yeah, it has to be like purely identical when you end up there. The reason why he chose the deep ravine where Chernobyl was located and not the grayish yellow fog was because he knew that the Giant King's youngest son, the God of Glory, Blooddale, had perished after being freed from the curse. The area would definitely experience major changes, and the only thing that wasn't affected was the mysterious Chernobyl, which was valued by the ancient sun god Anamon. Sun, radiation, maybe like Chernobyl like went critical, and when like the reactor went critical, the ancient sun god was born. Maybe that's how everything started. No, that can't be it. Because if it's speculated that ASG came from the OG, then probably not. This also didn't mean that the deep ravine in the grayish-white fog building wouldn't have any visible changes. In fact, Klein had already prepared himself for the failure of his teleportation attempt. After all, the person performing it was fake, and the item in his hand was also fake. It wouldn't be a pity if he lost it. In mid-air, Klein, with the Staff of Stars in his hand, didn't even have time to examine his surroundings when his entire body suddenly sank and plummeted downwards. He didn't wear creeping hunger, nor did he transform into a Naveen creature. He was currently unable to fly. Therefore, even though the demigods of the Seer Pathway were bizarre and terrifying, they actually had a human side to them. As his thoughts raced, a beyond power appeared in his mind. Following that, the Staff of Stars lit up with different colors, causing the surroundings to be filled with violent winds. The wind swirled around him, causing his black trench coat to flap and his body to slowly descend. During this process, Klein's right hand trembled, allowing the Staff of Stars' historical projection to return to its normal location, doing so to prevent accidents from happening to him because of his imagining certain scenes. Right on the heels of that, his left hand pressed down at the top hat of his head. Just as the lightning in the sky was about to pass, he pulled out a lantern from the void. Under the dim yellow light of the lantern, Klein stepped firmly onto the ground beneath the deep ravine with his buckleless leather shoes. The endless darkness around him seemed to contain monsters. He was standing in front of the grayish-white Chernobyl, which was formed in layers. Oh shit, here we go. Under the synchronized effects of the lightning and the lantern in his hand, Klein quickly discovered a situation that there was no need in this thick and vast grayish-white building. Every place is sealed. I remember that the ancient sun god had opened an illusionary crack on the grayish-white wall before coming out. As if in thought, Klein found the spot in his memories and began chanting the honorific name of the Fool. At the easternmost front of the forsaken lands of gods, by the solidified fog near Moon City, Klein was hiding in the historical void. Immediately entering Sephiric Castle with the help of the prayer light, he used his true vision to scan the situation at Chernobyl. In the deep ravine and desolate plains with rampant grayish-yellow fogs, there wasn't a single Amon present. As for Chernobyl itself, even with the true vision provided by Sephiric Castle, it wasn't enough for him to clearly see what was going on inside. Underneath the layers and layers of grayish-white white, there appeared to be absolute nothingness, a space without any color. Indeed, it's not simple. As expected of the place where the ancient sun god, the city of Soviet creator, walked out after sighing inwardly, he quickly left Sephira Castle and returned to the historical fragment from before the first epoch. Klein, who was standing outside of Chernobyl, regained the consciousness. He reached out his hand and took out Layman's Travels. He quickly flipped to the open of the pages and prepared to use the door-opening power of an apprentice. Such an action was actually a little rash for him, but considering that this was just a projection in the historical void, he felt that there weren't any problems with that. The Beyonders of the Seer Pathway are indeed both cautious and reckless at the same time. They're careful when making preparations, but reckless after making preparations. Okay? They show traits of caution and recklessness at the same time. After lampooning himself, Klein silently passed through the obstacle and entered Chernobyl's interior. After door opening repeatedly, he finally let out the grayish-white building. He saw an ajar heavy metal door in front of him. The metal door wasn't very tall, only about 2.5 meters tall. It was obviously prepared for humans. In front of it, there were two pitch black marks and two machine guns. What the fuck? Two machine guns that were more sci-fi than any weapon belonging to this era? What? We are reading sci-fi. I told you we'd be reading sci-fi. These two machine guns looked a little similar to the ones he had seen when he was flipping through some magazines in his previous life. What the fuck? So it's like remnants from our time. However, he wasn't a fan of such things, so he couldn't be sure. Klein didn't pick them up or attempt to study them. Why would there be guns in Chernobyl? His spiritual intuition told him that the two firearmed-like weapons had completely corroded. Any contact with them would instantly cause them to disintegrate. So that means we've had to have had bodyguards? If it wasn't confirmed before now, it's confirmed that this is indeed Earth? Come on. Yeah, we know. I'm pretty sure it's confirmed. Do you think Klein saw Chernobyl, the TV show? You think? I feel like he saw it, probably. If knowing him being the keyboard elite warrior he is, he would have saw, oh shit, man, we got Americans in here now. Did someone say gun? Yeehaw. After taking a few looks. Oh wait, no, sorry. I got to get rid of my country accent. After taking a few looks, he dispelled Layman's Travels with a lantern in his hand. He passed through two pitch black marks and arrived behind the metal door. There was a wide aisle here, and on both sides were rooms of different sizes. The tables and chairs inside were toppled. Some were fire, and the others were broken in half. The walls were covered with black streaks. It looks like a research facility. Klein set off the remnants and overall layouts, coming to a preliminary conclusion. There is no need for him to deliberately search for anything. He quickly found a room with a destroyed machine. There were a few pieces of paper on the table that had a yellow tint to it. Wait, hold up. They were thinking back to real life. After Chernobyl was closed, it was abandoned. Something happened and they turned it into a research facility where they had to have guards standing out front to keep people from coming in. Why? What the fuck were they researching? There were a few pieces of paper on the table that had a yellow tint to it. It seems like someone had casually placed it there after collecting it. The ancient sun god Oraman. After hesitating for 2 seconds, he finally stepped into the room. This is so exciting, dude. To keep the uranium in check, you gonna provide electricity or get shot? Oh man, I'm getting scared, dude. I'm excited to see what's gonna happen. The dim yellow light dispersed in the darkness inside as he picked up the few pieces of paper and quickly scanned them. 10 seconds later, Klein put down the piece of paper and the corner of his mouth twitched. He didn't recognize any of the words on those pages. I'm pretty sure every nuclear facility got guards, but good theory. Oh, well, I mean, like, it's probably heavily guarded now. Probably more than it used to be. Just since, like, that whole place, like, you can't even be it within a certain range. Well, at least back then, that's how it was. In my previous life, I only barely passed English, let alone other languages. Klein suddenly felt the feeling of the other Beyonders in this world when they read Roselle's diaries. He slowly exhaled as he extended his hand into the void and took out an item. This was a translating device that Zomingri had bought before going on a trip overseas, which he had saved up for. When the luck enhancement ritual was held, it was inside a computer bag by his side. To him, the greatest advantage of the translating devices was that it could do offline translations as long as it didn't exceed the internally stored database. After fiddling with it, he finally understood what the few pages wrote. Research of the appearance of oil. Go gadget, Google Translate. Research of an appearance of oil in a dried up oil field. Why were there... So they found oil in a dried up oil field, okay? Why would they need to build a research facility in such an unimaginable place for such matters? God, what did the discovery deep in the oil field? This is some amazing material. What the fuck? They found the oil. Fucking Sunny, we found the oil. Wait, we're fucking rich, boys. We actually found the oil. What exactly happened? The doctor turned into a puddle of black oil in front of me. Oh, what the fuck? They looked at the mythical creature form. The oil? More and more people have turned into oil. This research facility has been sealed off from outside. No one can leave. No one can leave. Mad. What the fuck? They've all gone mad. We're still normal, but our food is almost running out. I seem to be hearing things. They're hearing the fucking ravings. There seems to be sounds coming from underground. It's summoning me. He is summoning me. Oh shit. What the fuck is he? And what the fuck is everybody's just turning into oil? These lines of simple words sent a chill down Klein's spine. He felt as though he was walking towards madness and death. Oh man. Oh shit. At the same time, a thought naturally came to his mind. Yo, what's up, dude? What's up, Set? The corruption that stems from underground. Oh, what the fuck is underground? Is there something like still underground us? The corruption that stems from the underground. The cause of all of this was the unnecessary experiments involved after the discovery of some strange material in a dried up oil field. Then the world was destroyed. But if it was a disaster caused by such a coincidence, then there's no reason for me, Emperor Rizal, and the others to obtain items to help us transmigrate ahead of time. Perhaps, yeah, why? Why? I still don't get it. Why? Remember, yeah, no, I remember. Yeah, once it ends, and once you said Hall of Truth, right? Perhaps there are chances amidst inevitability, and in chance there is inevitability. The underground corruption has always been influencing the human world in an unobvious manner. It can intermittently bring about certain mysterious events. Only when the research facility probed deeper was he fully awake. When we go deeper? Klein subconsciously swallowed a mouthful of saliva. When the lantern in his hand had left the room and headed towards the depths of the research facility, he also paid close attention to anything that was worth paying attention to. Oh shit. After walking for nearly a minute, his vision suddenly darkened. More than half of the dim yellow light's radiance was consumed by the area ahead. When he took a closer look, he realized that there was a cliff 2 steps far away from him. That portion of the research facility had collapsed into the ground. It was dark and empty, with no end to it. Faintly, he seemed to hear a silent cry. It sounded in his mind from deep underground. This feeling was something Klein had experienced before from behind the bronze door in the Hall of Truth. Oh, Hall of Truth. Music change. I know. You say music change, right? Hall of Truth? I finally get to see Cammy. I got you. By the way, let me add this to my playlist. Oh, it's already in my Olo 10 playlist. Oh, here we go. What are we hearing now? Oh, last. I got it. Olo 10 playlist. Beautiful. Ba-ba-da boop. And then ba-ba-da boop. Then we refresh. Ba-ba-da boop. Oh, what's going on with my internet? Don't fucking do this to me right now. Okay, we're good. All right, here we go. Yo. Oh wait, before I forget, let me do, after this chapter, I'm gonna quickly go make one of my shorts public, and then see if more people see it, and then more people join. Because shorts get a lot of views within that first hour, so if more people see, they might see me live, and then they'll join the stream, and then they can subscribe. That's how we're gonna hook them. Hook 'em. All right, here we go. The corruption that stems from underground. Wait, no, I read this. Where was it? Hall of Truth. Hall of Truth. I got lost. I lost my fucking place. I'm too excited. Hall of Truth. Oh my goodness. Fuck. Hello. Let me just read from here. He fully awakened. I lost my place. Fuck. With the lantern in his hand, he left the room and headed towards the depths of the research facility. He also placed close attention to anything that was worth paying attention to. Then, after walking for nearly a minute, his vision suddenly darkened. More than half of the dim yellow light and radiance was consumed by the area ahead. When he took a closer look, he realized that there was a cliff of 2 steps away from him. That portion of the research facility had collapsed into the ground. It was dark and empty, with no end to it. Faintly, he seemed to hear a silent cry. It sounded like in his mind from deep underground. So that's the ravings everybody was hearing. This feeling was something Klein had experienced before from behind the bronze door in the Hall of Truth. He frowned slightly and took a few steps back, preparing to dispel his historical void projection at any moment. Oh, he was going to leave. At this moment, a palm that was so dry that only had skin and bones stuck out from the darkness, grabbing onto the edge of the cliff. Then a figure leaped out and landed in front of him. Oh, what the fuck? It's Amon? He was wearing a pointed hat and a classical black robe. He had a monocle on his right eye. It was none other than the Angel of Time, Amon. So he's all dry in bones. However, this Amon's condition was very abnormal. It was like a skeleton covered in a skin membrane. I'm sorry, is this like the original Amon? Like, is this like was there an actual original Amon body this whole time? It was like a skeleton covered in a skin membrane. Client subconsciously took a few steps back and saw that the flesh and blood of the man before him rapidly fill up. Like, he's healing? He adjusted his monocle with a small... a visitor. I wasn't expecting that. And you are... What the fuck? Wait, this is a different Amon? Wait. Amon doing urban exploring in Chernobyl? My man is fucking spelunking over here, bro. What the fuck? This is a different one. Wait. So this is like actually original Amon just spelunking in Chernobyl. For whatever reason. Oh, shit. Amon is a scientist. Oh, that's why he has his fucking... I lost my fucking monocle. That's why this bitch has had a monocle this whole time. He's a fucking scientist from Chernobyl. And then they were reborn. Oh, my God. Oh, wait, sorry. TMI. Timestamp. Let me grab my phone. Let me play it. Let me public a short, and then let's keep fucking reading, man. Oh, shit. Oh, man. This is exciting. Yo, oh, shit. Monocles. Yeah, call that a trope. Just monocles and glasses. Just give him a trench coat already. We're cooking. You know we're fucking cooking. Let me go grab my phone in public. If you guys can, or quick. If you guys can watch the, if you guys can watch it, watch the short we just made public. That way it gets seen. Stay calm for the next chapters, please. All right, no leading. Oh, Kevin, this is exciting. Fucking exciting. Okay, what the fuck is gonna happen? I'm gonna actually raise the volume a little bit for me. Let me raise the volume up for me just a little smidge. Here we go. No, it's okay. No, you're good. Don't worry. If anything was said right now before I looked, it's okay. You guys ready? Cammy's exciting me with that message. Guys, stay calm. He's like, stay the fuck calm, everybody. Yeah, I wanted to watch some of your shorts, but that fucking auto AI dub makes them unbearable. I know. It's that is one bad thing. Yeah. Oh, wait, the ones where I put the text to speech thing? Yeah, the old ones are pretty bad. Now there's no like text. It just goes up. Chapter 1223 is called That Level. Who am I? Just as Klein was about to remove the historical void projection, he was taken aback by Amon's question. He controlled himself and didn't frown. Instead of answering, he asked, "You aren't Amon's true body?" Standing at the edge of the hill, at the edge of the cliff, Amon took a step forward and smiled. "Of course not. Who the fuck is he then? You seem to know my true body or my other avatars." Oh shit, what the fuck? Although that Amon in front of him didn't take any action, the step he took still gave Klein an indescribable pressure. It wasn't easy for him to keep still without retreating, which would betray his cowardness. He grunted and replied in a low voice, "That's why I'm curious as to why you don't know me. Are you very famous?" Said, "Are you fucking famous?" "Are you very famous?" said Amon, who had crawled out of the darkness. He then raised his hand and adjusted his crystal monocle on his right eye. This action lasted for a few seconds before it came to end. As though in thought, Amon muttered, "There are no other me nearby, and there really are none. Or has the connection been completely severed? What kind of accident caused this Amon to be indifferent? No way, I can't believe this fellow's... Oh, I'm so stupid. I'm believing him, bro. He's probably acting. I'm so fucking gullible. He is a top-notch swindler." Klein's heart stirred as he suppressed his corresponding thoughts and asked, "Why did you crawl out from underground?" Amon's expression returned to normal as he chuckled. "Guess." Okay, he's acting same old, guess. Be it his actual body or his avatar, the fact that he had a terrible personality doesn't change. Klein thought to himself and tried to probe with an answer. "You are experiencing the secret that lays underground? You are exploring." Music change, middle of the chapter, when you read, "What's so different about the two?" Okay, wait, what's so different about the two? "You are experiencing the secret that lays underground." Amon nodded slightly and said, "Isn't that obvious?" He then half-turned his body and pointed at the darkness beyond the cliff as the light failed to light up. "My father crawled out of here just like I did. All right, it has a name. You should have heard of it. Chaos. Chernobyl is Chaos C? My father crawled out of here just like I did. All right, it has a name. You should have heard of it. Chaos C." So Chernobyl is one of the 9 pieces split from the oldest one? Is that what that is? Chaos C, the Chaos C, one of the 9 Sephiroths. It is indeed hidden deep underground. Under Chernobyl. Is the corruption behind the bronze door really brought about by it? Previously, I was made aware of this mysticism knowledge through my casual chats with Amon. A casual chat, by the way. The ancient sun god was originally a member of this research facility that... Oh, he was a member of the research facility. That makes so much more sense. He was probably a member and then he got contaminated by the Chaos Sea. Oh, as he was only an ordinary person back then. Based on the law that proximity to the underground increases in danger with his high sequences, he wasn't affected too much. Klein's mind raced as he recalled many matters that came up with various guesses. 3 seconds later, he sent in a response, "So you took the risk and jumped in to search for the truth of the buried history and the world." Something like that. Amon's mind pinched at the edge of his monocle and said in a self-deprecating manner, "But I didn't do it willingly." Klein used a terse explanation to express his doubts. Amon smiled and said, "Every single one of me knows that it's very dangerous deep underground. We don't want to go down alone. We have tried many detours, including creating a marionette to replace us. However, we failed to succeed and failed to obtain any feedback." All of them fail? "In the end, under the True Body's watch, we held a fair vote on..." Wait, so they actually held a vote for one to go down, and that one is... and he's separated from everybody. "In the end, under the True Body's watch, we held a fair vote. Unfortunately, I was chosen. It's a miracle that Amon hasn't completely gone mad yet. As expected of the god of mischief, internal decision has to do in such a way." Klein resisted the urge to lampoon. What the fuck? With the power of democracy, we chose that. And this is probably like the most sane Amon yet. "And then you jump down yourself. What else? Let them throw me down," Amon said as he spread his hands. Having said that, he seemed to finally understand something as he muttered to himself, "The Chaos Sea made me sever ties with my main body and the surrounding avatars." He's independent? Wait, there's so many implications behind that. Wait, so Amon can be a homie. He can actually be a homie. Is that what we're saying? Having said that, he seemed to finally understand something as he muttered to himself, "The Chaos Sea made me sever ties with my main body and the surrounding avatars. Am I independent?" Oh my god, this reminds me of another video game that came out this year where like one person is different from another, from like the original, and there's like so many layers of complexity to it. I will talk about that game later. Independent by Game of the Year, by the way. Independent, previously in front of the bronze door of the Hall of Truth. I felt that every cell of my, every worm of spirit were giving birth to a new consciousness, generating a different form of self. It's very normal from there to be similar changes in Amon's avatar after directly entering the Chaos Sea. An independent Amon should be effectively tricked Amon's true body. I'm gonna lower the volume just a little bit. No, I can't trust him. Klein's validated Amon's words using his own experiences, but he quickly reminded himself not to trust the god of deceit. He smiled and said, I suspect you're bluffing. Amon held the crystal monocle and sized up Klein for a few seconds. It doesn't matter whether you believe me or not. Even if I want to find a partner, it wouldn't be someone as weak as you. Oh, like, you little bitch. In the era of the 8 kings of angels, were you very close to the Red Angel Medici? Having made up his mind not to trust the independence of Amon in front of him, Klein tried asking, what did you discover in the Chaos Sea? Plenty of things. Guess what they are? The origins of everything. Guess what they are? Amon said with a smile. You didn't discover anything. Klein said deliberately. Amon shook his head. I thought he said we found his head. Amon shook his head. The other me probably thinks so too. Besides, I haven't been out for a very long time and I didn't respond. It is logical to believe that I have already been corroded and that was digested by the Chaos Sea. Without waiting for Klein's response, Amon continued, Chaos Sea is very large. It's probably the size of a sea. It almost fills the core and it goes to further layers. What was this chapter called? That level? Further layers. It's also the only Sephira that merges the real and the illusionary and has an entrance to the real world. The others are either completely illusionary and hidden somewhere unknown, or they're definitely real while existing in the real world. I found something very interesting inside. The first blasphemy slate was likely born there. Oh shit. Wait. We're finally getting lore drops. Holy fucking shit. Cuttlefish is on crack, man. How the fuck does he come up with this? The first blasphemy slate was likely born there, but it was later attracted by some power and left ground before it was complete. Oh shit, here we go. My father might have browsed through the blasphemy slate in the beginning, which is why his condensed into the second blasphemy slate when he perished. My father might have browsed through that blasphemy slate, like where all the Beyonder powers originate from, which is why his condensed, wait, what? This doesn't make any fucking sense. Which is why his condensed what? Like his condensed essence into the second blasphemy slate when he when he died, the second blasphemy slate was born. Music changed when you read what's so different. Okay, what's so different? Amon adjusted the crystal molecule and said the second blasphemy slate changed some of the new powers. The second blasphemy slate changed some of the sequence names and added context. I'm sorry, so book 2 is all new pathway beyonders. No shot. The second blasphemy slate changed some of the sequences, names, and added contents. Those contents contain secrets and transcending sequences. The fuck is a transcending sequence? Transcending sequences. Klein's pupils widened slightly. He felt that his long-term guess had been confirmed. Become the creator? You skipped the line, motherfucker. Wait, I skipped it? No shot, I skipped it. I'm too excited. I skipped the fucking line. Wait. This is the wait. Where did I skip it? My father might have browsed through the blasphemy slate in the beginning, which is why his condensed into the second blasphemy slate when he perished. The one line, for fuck's sake. This is the origins of the 2 blasphemy slate. It's no wonder the ancient sun god was so powerful in the late stages of the second epoch. Klein vaguely understood something and subconsciously asked, oh, right here. This is the line I skipped. What's so different about the 2 blasphemy slates? All right, music change. Music change. Oh, that's so bad. That's so bad. All right, here we go. A beautiful song? Oh, man. Oh, this is hype. Here we go. What's so different about the 2 blasphemy slates? Amon adjusted the crystal monocle and said the second blasphemy slate changed some of the sequence names and added content. Those contents contain secrets about transcending sequences. Klein's pupils widened slightly. He felt that his long-term guess had been confirmed. Become the creator. Oh shit, yeah. Amon smiled and said more or less, but this description isn't accurate enough. I like to refer to that level as above the sequences. There's also a number of true deities who name it in other ways. Some call it the Great Old Ones. Others refer to it as outer deities or cosmos. Cosmos? The moment Klein heard of this term, his spiritual intuition began to give crazy warnings. He remembered very clearly that the ascetic leader of the Church of the Evernight, Ariana, had told him before that beware of the cosmos. He had told him before that unless he became an angel, he shouldn't attempt to understand the cosmos. Otherwise, just having knowledge of it would bring him great danger. So this is all info on the second blasphemy slate. And what was it? The outer ones? The old ones? Outer deities, cosmos, the great old ones? The fuck is it? I'm okay. I gotta keep it cool. I'm following. Don't worry. Bit louder on our end. Bit louder. You want me to like turn it up? I'll turn it up. He remembered very clearly that ascetic leader, Church of the Evernight, Ariana, had told him before that unless he became an angel, he shouldn't attempt to understand the cosmos. Otherwise, just having knowledge of it would bring him great danger. Without hesitation, Klein, who had been hiding in the historical void in a time before the first epoch, gave up maintaining the projection. He stood up from the stacks of cities of old and took 4 steps counterclockwise. Almost at the same time, the violent lightning that streaked across the sky of the forsaken lands of gods calmed down. The endless darkness vanished as well. A gigantic crimson moon covered in half the sky. Wait, I'm sorry. Is the moon in the forsaken lands of gods? The endless darkness vanished as well. A gigantic crimson moon covered half the sky. The light on the surface of the crimson moon stretched out as if it was alive. Outside of this world, the moon that was revolving around the earth had a crimson sea flowing. It drowned everything as in though it was digesting this huge natural satellite. Oh shit, we can finally see the moon. The blood-colored sea boiled when Klein learned about the news of the great old ones, the outer deities, and cosmos. What the fuck am I reading, dude? They quickly gathered towards the middle, constantly piling together until they formed an indescribable blood-red phantom image. This phantom image was many times bigger than the moon. It's a bigger moon? It had countless eyes, and it looked down at the blue planet. It cast its gaze at... Wait, what the fuck? It's looking at Klein? It cast its gaze at Klein's main body through the connection that was established the moment he learned about these matters. They looked at him because he found out. As the Crimson Sea recorded many craters and appeared on the surface of the moon... The craters of the moon on the surface of Star Wars is canon in LTM? Holy shit, man. From the ground, the moon no longer crimson. It was bright and clear. It had remained the same despite the hundreds of millions of years. Further out in space, the brown star, the orange star, the scarlet... I'm sorry, we're fucking talking about all... what is... We're reading a sci-fi. What are we reading now? Further out in space, the brown star, the orange star, scarlet planet, the gold planet, the blue planet twinkled like the blinking eyes. All the other planets in our solar system. In the fog of history, boils began to emerge from the surface of Klein's body. Each boil had a mutated worm of spirit. They wore the faces of Zoe McGree, Klein's Moretti, German Sparrow, and Dwayne Dantes. They were trying their best to drill out of his body. Klein thought, like, are they becoming independent? Those are the other names of the planets in the solar system. What the fuck? Yeah, like Mars, Pluto. Well, sorry, Pluto. Okay. And like all the other like Saturn, all the other ones. Klein's thought quickly turns chaotic. His entire spirit body seemed to be torn apart by an invisible blade, but he still forced himself to finish reciting the last sentence of the incantation, the celestial worthy of heaven and earth for blessings. Silently, Klein's spirit body tore through the gray fog and entered Safari Castle. The power of the entire space began to boil as it surged forward and enveloped him, melting away wisps of black gas, streams of red light, and bowls severing the invisible connection. Nearly 10 seconds later, the struggling Klein finally regained consciousness. He stood up He stood up using the high back chair as support. Inside Shinobu, Amon, who was standing at the edge of the cliff, said to himself in a low voice. He adjusted the crystal monocle on his right eye. Quite a fast reaction. Did you notice that when it looked at Klein, like when the eyes on the moon, the red moon disappeared and it became white? Like, no, wait, I didn't read white. I thought, no, it said it didn't look red anymore. So I assume it just, it said clear. It said clear. No. It did say clear. It did say clear. It no longer became the red moon and it became clear. I did not process it becoming clear as in it became normal. What the fuck? Quite a fast reaction. If Klein had been a second slower and was embroiled, I was like, clear? Okay, like it's more red. If Klein had been a second slower and was embroiled in the chaotic state, Amon could deceive the connection between the projection and the actual body before Klein could remove and... Wait, what? If Klein had been a second slower and was embroiled in the chaotic state, Amon could deceive the connection between the projection and the actual body before Klein could remove the maintenance of the historical projection. He could then appear inside the corresponding historical fragment above the gray fog. Klein sat down and rubbed his temples. That Amon was indeed lying. He should be the avatar that stayed behind to guard. So he was guarding. He wasn't exploring. Okay. He was the avatar that stayed behind to guard Chernobyl. When he discovered that I had come, he hid somewhere between the... He just fucking hid. He hid somewhere between the cliff and the KLC, pretending that he had just crawled out. Fuck, man. He is such a good trickster. He had just crawled out. He was unable to deal with my main body by bypassing the historical projection. Furthermore, he might have not had the strength of a sequence 2 angel. Therefore, he pretended to be an independent avatar so as to carry out the deceit. Bro, I fucking trusted him on. You guys have told me repeatedly to not trust him, and I literally trust. Oh, yeah, he's separate. Oh, shit, he's going to be the homie. On the surface, he attempted to make me believe that he was an independent avatar and could be cooperated with. He made me focus on this aspect. Fucking shit, I believe that. He made me focus on this aspect, and in fact, he concealed the danger in his words. Even in a normal conversation with the god of the seeds, one can still be scammed. However, in order to achieve his goal, he had also given a sufficient amount of secrets. What the fuck, man? Bro would fall for the lollipop trick. Bro, I would be GG in a week, bro. Few days, 3 days tops, bro. What the fuck? Let me copy that. The what? The old ones? The great old ones? What the fuck is this, man? The great old ones? I don't get it. So, those who have, like, gone past the sequences and have, like, looked into the second blasphemy slates, they, like, is that what it's referencing? Like, the ones that have gone beyond, like, those are the ones that became the great old ones. Easy, the moon is looking at you right now. Hey, man, it's a full moon, by the way. It's a full moon. Holy shit. Is there artwork on that? Is there artwork on, like, Klein and Amon looking at the moon? What the fuck, bro? By the way, Wiz guessed that above the sequence thing at another huge thing just... Wait. Wiz guessed the above the sequence thing and another huge thing that just got implicitly shown in volume 4. There is, but spoiler, yeah, the moon's looking so big today. Yeah, the moon, dude, it's crazy that we're looking at this in a big moon. We're looking at it during a big moon. We're reading this like during a full moon. Jesus, bro, we are reading this during a full moon. Now them looked at the moon, but by them, wait, let me do my timestamp. Hold on, let me do my timestamp. Okay, before I do my timestamp. So, I assume all the eyes that were looking at him were the great ones, the old ones. He guessed this chapter back in volume 4, basically. I just flew out of my training flight and saw the moon and got scared for a sec. What was it? It's not what we talked about, right? Because I remember we talked about, like when he was like, oh, there has to be something above sequence 0. And that's what we're talking about, like, oh, above sequence 0 is probably going, like, becoming the great one, like the original creator. So he says something besides that. It is reasonable that we're reading this on the full moon, dude. Holy shit, dude. That is fucking wow. Everybody go out and look at the moon, man. Holy shit. What a beautiful, blessed night. I don't remember reading about that. When? I read about them? Four is gonna have a field night, bro. She's gonna go fucking crazy when she hears this info, man. It's this, yes, and what Seth just said too. Easy wants to look at the moon. I'm not looking. Not looking today. The moon's not gonna be out for like another hour or two, hopefully. Still not bright. It's still not completely bright out yet. All right, here we go. Next chapter. You guys ready? Do I still play the music, or should we go back to this for now? Should we go back to here? Oh man, I need a drink, man. You read about this one explicitly and twice implicitly. Yes, keep it? Okay, let's keep it. Chapter 1224. Shit, this might be... I think this might be our last chapter, by the way, guys. Chapter... What a fucking good way to end, by the way. Oh, shit. Yeah, we knocked out 5 chapters. Okay, this is good. Chapter 1224 is called Guesses About the Apocalypse. Okay. Lowing Kingdom Backland. I know, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. We only had a little bit of time. I know, I'm sorry, man. Lowing Kingdom Backland. Force, who was still sleeping soundly, suddenly woke up from her dream. She subconsciously cast her gaze out the window. She didn't lack similar experiences before she became a member of the Terror Club. She often woke up in the middle of the night due to the curse of the full moon, but today she didn't feel any familiar pain. But her heart throbbed for some unknown reason. As the curtain had blocked the window, Forrest was unable to determine what time it was for the weak light. She subconsciously got out of bed, walked out the window, and drew the curtains. The sunlight that penetrated the thin fog shone into the room, dispersing the accumulated darkness. Forrest stood by the window and looked up into the sky with an obvious look of confusion. The sun has already risen and the crimson moon has long set. Why do I still feel the sensation I have during the curse of the full moon? Okay. Furthermore, there were still many days to the full moon. The Intis Republic capital Trier? One by one, the astronomers who have woken up early, as well as the mysticism enthusiasts, as well as the covered beyonders, cast their gazes high into the sky. The layers of the evening clouds dispersed as the huge and bright moon outshone the light of the stars. The moon color was no longer the usual crimson color. It was white and unusually bright. All who saw it were stunned. This was a moon that had been never seen before, be it the normal textbooks of human society or the books related to mysticism. None of them recorded similar phenomena. Apart from the common new moon, full moon, and the occasional blood moon, the moon have never experienced such changes. Oh man, everybody's gonna go crazy right now. Everybody's gonna hear the great old ones. At least for the past 1,300 years since the beginning of the fifth epoch, there had been absolutely no such change. At this moment, the onlookers realized that other than the crimson and blood red states, the moon had another color. Oh shit, now we're cutting over here. The forsaken lands of the gods, the city of silver. As it was in the afternoon when the frequency of lightning was high, Derek and company noticed the abnormality in the sky. They were used to the familiar lightning and darkness. In just a few seconds, all of that completely disappeared without the traces. The blood-colored circular glow that bloated out the half the sky was so obvious. Its massive size illuminated everything to great visibility. The people of the city of silver, who were relatively agile, thought of the description and the corresponding pictures of the moon and general knowledge book. They suddenly had a thought that came to them. Could this be the moon? The crimson moon? We actually saw the crimson moon. Soon the blood red colors of the crimson moon in front of them drained inch by inch, revealing its bright and clear body. The city of silver residents were increasingly at a loss, unsure of what had just happened. Having heard Mr. Hangman, Miss Justice, and the other members of the Terror Club talk about the outside world, Derek Berg was even more shocked and surprised than them. This is because there was no such natural phenomenon outside of the forsaken lands of gods. They're probably going even more crazy. A few seconds later, the moon disappeared and the darkness once again engulfed everything. The frequent flashes of the lightning became the major source of the light. What happened just now? Did you see the red circle? Moon. That's the moon. That's the crimson moon. Is this a sign that we are about to escape our current situation? Oh shit, here we go. I can send a YouTube video exactly depicting the planets in a horror way. Send it. I'm down to watch that. You guess it's like cosmic horror, right? Amidst the confusion, most of the residents of City of Silver subconsciously treated this phenomenon as a good thing, treating it as an auspicious sign for mysticism. Only by Chief Colin Iliad and the elders of the six-member council, like Lovia, had serious looks on their faces as they frowned. Above the grayish-white fog inside the ancient palace, having gained a general understanding of Amon's scam, Klein instinctively turned his attention back to the secret he had just learned. He previously had some guesses about the corresponding contents, but when it was truly revealed, he realized that it was even more terrifying and exaggerated than he had imagined. It made him even more hopeless. To be able to successfully attract the attention of the cosmos, this means that most of the secrets that Amon revealed are true. Oh shit, okay, no lies. There really is another level above Secret Zero? Shit, dude. Book 2 is gonna go crazy, dude. There really is another level above Sequence Zero. This should be the level which the ancient sun god was at. However, his condition didn't seem to be too right. He ended up being stabbed in the back, perished, and divided up. According to what Amon said, using the creator to describe this level isn't accurate enough. He named it as above the sequences. There are also existences who use the term transcending sequences. Transcending sequences and above the sequences? Let me write that down. That sounds super important. Let me just write that down. To describe that level, indicating that they have escaped the restrictions of beyonder pathways. Deities refer to this level as the Great Old Ones, outer deities, cosmos. From this, one can tell that there are two matters. One is the vast universe outside this world. On the boundless cosmos, there are the great old ones and the outer... Well, I'm sorry, what is out there, bro? What is out there? Outer deities, who are the existences at the creator's level? For example, the ones who control the moon. From the looks of it, the brown star, the orange star were the original planets. The brown star and orange star were the original planets? What the fuck does that mean? I lost my place. The original planets, they have changed, making Emperor Rizal unable to recognize me. This is because the great old ones or outer deities entrenched in them watched our world. The box of the great old ones mutated after being corrupted by the... Oh, I'm so fucking lost now. The box of the great old ones mutated after being corrupted by the cosmos. Yes, there are most likely more than one great old one or outer deity. Why are they all surrounding... I'm so lost now. But like, are they in those planets? Like, they're over there? Is that what that means? Like, those great old ones are like in those planets in our solar system? Why are they all surrounding this planet? What are they spying on? They didn't directly... What are they spying on? They didn't directly invade it because there's a power that temporarily keeps them out. Thanks to the 7 deities... Oh... They're blocking us from the greater evil. The box of the great old ones is the artifact of the Abraham family that was stolen by Bautis, that was given back to For's teacher. Don't forget the moon, like the crimson moon. I am not following. I'm gonna need like a full breakdown in a bit. Let me keep going. We'll get the full breakdown. We're not cooked. We're not cooked. I read the end. We're not cooked. We're not cooked. We're not cooked. We're not good. We're following. We're following. We're following technically. Thanks to the 7 deities connecting this to the prophecy of the apocalypse in 1368, the 7 deities might not be playing a crucial role in this. They have yet to transcend the sequences. When the true barrier disappears in 1368, the great old ones and the outer deities will no longer be abstracted. Then the apocalypse will descend. So the great old ones will descend upon us, and that's the apocalypse. I think that's what we said originally, right? Like maybe like the real apocalypse is all the deities going mad. That was mentioned way back then. Something along that line. Then the apocalypse will descend upon us. Upon thinking of this, the questions that he had accumulated in his mind suddenly flashed through his mind. Why did the Evernight goddess take the risk of bringing about a battle of gods to seize... Yeah, why? Why did the Evernight goddess take the risk of bringing about a battle of gods to seize the uniqueness of the death pathway? So she can't die? Why did the 7 deities tactically acquiesce to having a black emperor? Because they just need more people. Why did Amon, and the other kings of angels, after being silent for so many years, step out from behind the scenes in this era? Why were the legacies of the ancient... Oh, now we're asking all the big questions. Why were the legacies of the ancient gods from the second epoch appearing one after another? Why was there only one transmigrator released from Sephira Castle in the first 4 epochs, but 2 in the 5th epoch, a period spanning slightly more than 1,000 years? Fuck, there are so many big questions I don't even know, man. Few by they, good or bad, everyone is working hard to improve themselves to usher in the apocalypse. The goddess, who is so good at setting things into motion, chose such a risky method because she wanted to transcend the sequences and become a great old one. There's only a decade or so left. Time waits for no man. That's a good-ass fucking quote. Time waits for no man. That she provided me help and secrets because she had similar hopes. Adam didn't take action even though he could finish me off twice. Apart from him and me not having any significant grudges, this plays a role in everything. Klein gently wrapped the edges of the long model table as he muttered softly, the key to becoming a great old one or outer deity is one of the 9 Sephiroths. Looking around the empty Sephira castle, Klein sighed and muttered to himself, as for the exact situation, I have to look at the second blasphemy slate to know. Unfortunately, I don't know when I'll have a chance. He then focused his attention on something else. I'm not sure if the ancient sun god had completely transcended the sequences. If a native great old one were to be born, humanity... If a native great old one were to be born, humanity might still have a sliver of hope when the apocalypse happened. His death is even more complicated than I imagined. It's no wonder Emperor Rizal said that only a Sequence Zero could preserve themselves and protect the people they value. I wonder if the great old ones or outer deities have infiltrated the earth with their powers. Yes, according to how the 7 Orthodox deities and the other... Dude, this is so big for me now. Like, we've reached a point in lore where I'm just, like, genuinely, like, baffled. I'm just, like, genuinely, like, what the fuck? Like, the fuck? Yes, according to how the 7 Orthodox deities and the other evil gods, like the true creator, view the... I'm getting lightheaded. Yes, according to how the 7 Orthodox deities and the other evil gods, like the true creator, view the primordial moon and the mother tree of desire with animosity, the latter might be great old ones or outer deities. It is no wonder the mother tree of desire could directly mislead my divination above the great fog. She is most dangerous existence in my book. I understand. We're gonna talk about this. Hold up. There's like 2 pages. We'll talk about this. I'm fucking lost, man. I'm like fucking done when he forgets something right now. I'm like, holy shit, there's so much happening. I'm like Zoro from One Piece when he gets lost. I understand what the great old ones and the outer deities are gathered around. I don't. I understand what those great old ones and outer deities are gathered around this world for. They likely want to obtain the 9 Sephiroths, destroying the world in just something done in passing. As he thought of this, Klein suddenly recalled the phrase the Mother Tree of Desire had said through Cynthia. Admiral, I want to have a child with you. He couldn't help but shudder as he seriously considered his safety after returning to the real world. He had already a certain level of understanding of the cosmos. As long as he subconsciously thought of something related, he would directly establish a connection with the great old ones and the outer deities and be corrupted. If not for the fact the Sephiric Castle had cut off all contact from before, I wouldn't dare to return to reality. After some thought, Klein decided to invite his psychiatrist, Miss Justice, to help. Like, bro, I need help. To help, like, you gotta placate the shit out of me right now. Miss Justice to help hypnotize him and seal the corresponding information deep. Oh, he doesn't want to know. Deep within his subconscious. Only when he saw a present reminder would he recall it. He originally wanted to directly summon the projection of justice from the historical void to do this. Oh, and then she doesn't get hurt. But considering that this was an intricate task, it was very likely a mistake to oversight might happen if the person didn't have a deep understanding of his mind. And once there was a slip up, the great old ones and the outer deities would cast their eyes on him. Phew, I need to remember to get Miss Justice to hypnotize herself to forget this matter. True. After some deliberations, Klein turned the corresponding request into a stream of light and threw it into the Crimson Star, representing justice. Not long ago, just after breakfast, she's over here just eating breakfast as we're going through this whole revelation. Not long ago, just after breakfast, Audrey, who had yet to leave home, arrived above the Great Fog. I need your help. The long bronze table had vanished. There was just a desk and 2 chairs placed in the ancient palace. Miss World, what is the matter that you wish to forget this time? Audrey looked at Germansborough, who was sitting opposite her, and raised the most important questions. Klein rubbed his temples and used a deep voice to describe the secrets of the cosmos, great old ones, and outer deities. Upon hearing this, Audrey's eyes widened bit by bit as if she had been possessed by an evil god. Oh, shit. After he was done, she fell silent for a few seconds before saying with the same deep and slightly confused voice, "This is the truth of the apocalypse. Even the 7 deities..." Oh shit, they can't save us. Even the 7 deities are unable to save us. Without waiting for Klein's reply, Audrey laughed self-deprecatingly. I thought what I've been doing recently was very meaningful. I thought the worst news I could think of was the defeat of Lone and the annihilation of the church. But compared to the secrets you told me, all of this is so insignificant. It's like all their problems are so insignificant in the grander scale. What the fuck did I just read, dude? What the fuck is this? Holy shit, man. Fucking Cuttlefish, dude. No wonder he was so excited for this volume. I'm fucking lost. I'm lost as fuck. I'm gonna read all your messages right now. Absolute fucking cinema, man. Let's do overall thoughts. Keep about 50. I am lost as a motherfucker. No, I'm not even gonna attempt to understand. You gotta break it down for me. You gotta break it. Let me just scroll up. If there's any artwork in the meantime, let me open up Discord, because I assume the thumbnail Wiz has used for Volume 6 is that. I remember seeing an artwork of like Klein And I assume I'm on looking at the moon? I assume this is this? Hold up. Let me open up Discord in the meantime. Discord is not opening up. Son of a bitch. Okay, we're good. We're good. Let's close this. Let me minimize this. Let me throw chat up here. So we got the great old ones. DSV, put your Discord notes. Hold up. Let me open this up. I gotta look at this. I'm lost as fuck. I am lost as a motherfucker. I'm not even gonna pretend to understand what I just read. Okay. Let me look at your guys' messages. I need fucking help, man. Treat me like I'm 5. Please handhold me here, because I'm not gonna lie. I am not. If I think about this, I'm not gonna understand it unless I go back. But let me go up. After it's midday. You read about this once, explicitly twice. Okay, I read this part. I can send a YouTube video explain. We read this part. I sent it in general. The video in Discord now will send it. Oh, this is the Cosmos thing. Okay, so we're gonna have that up for later. The moon wakes up. Okay. Okay, wait, hold up. Oh, we'll look at that. Mars and Venus, easy, are solar system planets. They control the planets now. So that's what they're in control of? So they have domain over the different planets. Easy are solar. So when they were referencing like, oh, the great old ones of like the red planet, the orange planet, like they have authority over the planet. Okay. Okay. Don't forget the moon. We have the moon. Box of the great old ones is the artifact of the Abraham family that we got back after we fought the saint from the Oral Order that was stolen by Bautis. Check. Like the Crimson Moon, the great old ones appear as celestial body. Deities call them cosmos and outer deities, which means they're not on Earth. There's multiple of them, and they're all on the level of ancient sun god. We're cooked. We now know why the moon is red. Wait, why is the moon red? Hold up, I don't even know. Why was the moon red? Easy, moon is clear, but the outer deities are controlling it. Oh... Because the outer deities are controlling the moon. That's why. Oh shit! So it's like they've been watching us this whole time. So as the moon is red, that's them watching us the entire time. There exists a level above gods, the great old ones. There is also the cosmos. Their form is that of the planet of the solar system. Everything related to them corrupt. Cammy, we are not just cooked, we are getting nuked, bro. So it's like they're all on the level of ASG. But even Klein said ASG was like... Even he fucked up at one point. So they're technically stronger than... Well, I assume they're as strong as Prime ASG. Or even stronger. Since it's been longer for them. If your Earthling became a great old ones, they can help us in the apocalypse. So I assume that's... Oh, that's probably what Evernight wants. So Evernight is probably digesting the uniqueness of the death pathway. Because Evernight is trying to transcend Sequence 0. I assume if... Oh, wait. And maybe that's why Evernight has partial control or domain over the moon? Oh, wait. So that's why the moon was never fully hers. Because it'd be... Oh, wait. It's coming back. So the reason why Evernight never had full authority over the moon was because there was something before. So now it's explicitly implied that it was always the great old ones, and she only had like a portion of it. I think that's how I'm interpreting it. It would explain in the future. No, they are the... Oh, wait, they are the size of the planets. And on top of them, so in a way, they are the planets? They holding the authority of those planets also? No, because the great old ones on the moon is red and covering the moon. So the great old one was always the red moon. It only had like... That's why Evernight only has partial control. And I assume she's trying to... You're cooking... They're at least as strong as Prime Ancient Sun God. Currently, we have no one at that level, and we have Evernight. So that we're cooked, and what we're oh, wait. We have Frankly holding everyone back. Fucking Frankly out of here, man. That's fucking funny. Holy shit! I am I am baffled. I'm baffled. No, yeah. No, like I know Evernight is still just like a god. I know she's just like, but like because she's like currently digesting the uniqueness of the death pathway for whatever reason. I assume she's trying to go above that to protect us. We don't know what level Evernight is at. We don't know. I assume she's like all the other 7 deities, right? I assume she's like all the other 7 deities, and that's why all the other 7 deities didn't care about George III being the Black Emperor, because because they were all probably in unanimous agreement, like, yo, the more people on our side, the better. Like, we all need to be prepared for the great old ones. Damn, bro, easy. Wait, what the? I'm sorry. Don't be mad at me. I'm gonna say it. Don't get mad. Don't get mad at me. The only thing I can reference right now. Don't get mad. Don't get mad because I know there's a lot of solo leveling haters. The only way I can interpret this, kinda, is how like the whole point of solo leveling was the bad guys are the monarchs, but then we realized technically there were the good guys, and there were like the rulers are the bad guys. Like they were like the lesser evil. There were even badder people above them in this war, like in this celestial galactic war that transcends time. So like in a way that's kind of how like I'm processing it. Not in spoil solo leveling. No, not in spoil it. I will never spoil solo leveling. No, I didn't spoil it. No. She's trying to become stronger, hence why there are so many people becoming gods fighting each other. So it's like, in a way, they're all pulling the shadows. They're all pulling the strings in the shadows for people to get stronger. And then once one sequence 0 slot is full, like once we got one sequence 0 god in all the 22 pathways, including the Tarot Club, then we help them transcend sequence 0, and then we go off against the greater old ones when the apocalypse happens in like 10 years plus. No, I'm not comparing LOTM to solo leveling. I'm trying to like understand some endgame shit, because when I read some of the endgame shit solo leveling, I was lost. But like now that's a lot easier to understand compared. This is a lot harder to understand, but that's like the closest thing I can think of where we reach that scale. But I'm not trying to compare them. I'm not saying one is better than the other. I'm not saying one is better than the other. Well, I'm not saying one is better or worse than the other. I'm just trying to like take some references. What are the ingredients to become sequence 0? I don't fucking know, man. What the you guys fucking tell me. I don't know. The DT, if they become old ones, they can fight. Well, I assume that's why. So like Evernight is helping. Oh, that's probably why she's helping Klein. Sequence 0 is not enough. Sure, you know how to become stronger than sequence 0 yet, so I'm gonna say it. It's the uniqueness. So that's that. Oh, thank you. I'm like, I don't fucking know. 3 sequence 1 ingredients, all of them, and according to the unique, easy 3 sequences. So we need 3 sequences and 1 uniqueness. Okay, man, this is all complicated ass fucking shit. This shit is hard to follow, man. God damn, my small ass fucking brain can't keep up. And the ritual, oh my god, I cannot keep up with this. My puny little American brain cannot keep up. Okay, I think I'm good. Is there artwork on that, by the way? Guys, there has to be something. I need something. That's why no sequence 1 angels when there's a sequence 0. So, if we have great old ones... Hold up, science, hold up. You guys know I'm bad at geography. Now, let's see if I'm bad at science. That means there should be at least 7 outer ones if each one occupies a planet. There's only one I can think of as a spoiler. Okay. There's only one. It's probably a spoiler. Okay. Wait, I can't look at it. There's nothing on the red moon. Damn. All right. That's okay. That's okay. I'll find something from the Dunkwell and use that as a thumbnail or something. Huh? Damn, man. I am so fucking impressed, bro. Who would have thought this isekai I read a year ago on a guy waking up in a steampunk Victorian era filled with like magic would become this? Not yet, I think. Okay, so we can't look at it yet. Who would have fucking thought? What neighbors sleep less easy? What? I don't know. I'm so lost. I gotta sleep on this. I actually need to fucking sleep on this bitch. This shit is hard. This is badass, man. This is so fucking good ass series. Someone on Reddit said the Dunkquist shows the full moon all the time. Force isn't shown in season 1 because she died from the curse. She'd be fucking dead by now, dude. We have seen the second stone. Have we seen it? From going from reimbursement to outer deities, what happened? Yeah, man. How the fuck did we get to this point? Poor Force, she's fucking dead, bro. She dead in the dirt. She is out cold, man. Damn, man. Corpse collectors and warriors are next to Sleepless. Oh, I know that. I knew that. Yeah. When I was making my character, I just see Goff hit me up. When I was making my character, I was trying to remember what was compatible with Sleepless. Yeah. It was Corpse Collector and Warrior. Yeah, don't worry, I have that. Death and Warrior. Yeah, no, I remember that. Thank you. No, I remember that. Yeah, he told me those were compatible, and he's like, if you plan on switching pathways, remember just what you're compatible with. I'm like, oh yeah, I remember. You know all the neighboring paths. I got here. Did Easy just learn about Goose? Goose? No, we learned stuff. We learned some stuff. Yes, with a monocle. Goose. Gods? Outer gods? Is that what that reference is? I know set playing with you. Oh man, this is good. Alright guys. I'm gonna let you go. We'll be back. I think tomorrow. GOES is the acronym for the Great Old Ones. Oh, that's what it means? Oh shit. That's fucking good. I'm telling Easy, reminding him. Oh my god. Alright. Sunny's video. I have it open. On the moon, right? The moon wakes up. This has 30 million views. You guys want to watch it? Is your music, by the way? Let's watch it. You guys want to watch it? So this is basically what we saw. So this is by a guy called Mr. Friend. It's already over. No, it's alright. We're gonna see what literally Klein just saw. Wait, wrong one. Sorry, chat is not visible. Let me fix chat. Hold up, give me a sec. I'll put chat. Let's watch this and then we're gonna head out. And then I go back to watch. Open up live chat. Paste. All right. So this is basically the closest thing we got to what just happened. What is this AI? It's an animation. You know what would be crazy? If at one point there's like actual fucking like remaining like there's astronauts out in space, man. Like in Returnal when you see the astronaut. It's pretty old. I doubt it's AI. Mr. Friend. I see the similarity. So fucking creepy. What the fuck? Oh, that is so fucking creepy. What the fuck? Oh, hell no. Oh, hell no. That's so weird now. What the fuck? But Klein basically saw all the eyes. Oh shit, that's definitely claimable. Or that's probably bad. I don't know what that was. Astronauts have a high chance of getting corrupted by the cosmos, I'd imagine. Well, there's probably like corrupted astronauts. I really hope we go to space now at the end of the series and we find like an abandoned space station. And inside that abandoned space station, there's like all these corrupted ass astronauts. That'd be like icing on the cake, man. Oh, I'd love it. I love how there's like this slight little like sci-fi element to LOTM now. I love it. Oh, these guys are going fucking crazy. I love it. I love how there's like this slight little sci-fi little thing now. Oh, hell fucking no. It's like the end of Interstellar. When he has to eject, he's like flying into the fucking black hole. Or into like the Tesseract. Dude, this is literally how LOTM is gonna end. Klein is gonna be out in space looking at like Mommy Evernight. And she's gonna be like, are you ready? Like, ready for what? She's gonna be like, to become a great old one. And then we look at Earth, and it's gonna be like, book 1 ends. And then something's gonna like come out of the moon or something. Oh, what the fuck? Oh, hell no. Oh, no. Oh, no. No, wait, I don't want this part to happen. Yo, I don't want this part to happen. This part definitely can't happen. Fuck that. Yo, man, Benson and Melissa are there. Oh, shit. And that's the great old ones looking at us. Oh, shit. Like, and that's the other planet just looking at us. Mr. President, a sick. Oh, my God. A second moon. Oh, hell fucking no. That's a deep cut reference, dude. Holy shit, Finn. That's how book one ends? Wait, man. What the fuck? Yo, man, I'm gonna read the comments. Please tell me. It was Earth's. It was not Earth's ass, by the way. He went straight for the ocean. I'm like, yo, man, this reminds me of LOTM. Martin, true spectator, Goose, true God. Oh, man, I'm overwhelmed. I'm gonna let you guys go. You guys have an amazing, beautiful day. I'm gonna see you guys very soon. I think tomorrow, just heads up, tomorrow we're probably only gonna read like 5 chapters. Probably 5 chapters. And then Friday, we might read another 5 chapters. Saturday, we're finishing volume 6. Saturday, we're going to finish volume 6. And we're going to read the notes. We're going to do our author notes. And we're going to start volume 7. We're going to start 7. At least so I'm going to be petty. Just so I can feel good about myself. If Wiz is finishing volume 8 Sunday, I at least need to start volume 7 Saturday. So I'm going to see you guys soon. Peace. Have an amazing, beautiful day. Later. Bro, the ravings on Saturday are going to go crazy. 6 is not over yet. I know. Wait, hold up. Let me know. How many more chapters do I have until the end of 7? 6. I assume this ends in like 30 chapters. How much longer do I have until the ending of 6? Am I close? 1266? What the fuck did I just read? We have to read 40 chapters by Saturday? We gonna make it work. We gonna fucking do it, bro. We fucking doing it. We read 5 tomorrow, 5 Friday, 5 tomorrow, 5 Friday, 32 Saturday. No, we're not gonna brute force it. Don't brute force it. We're not gonna brute force it, but we are gonna start super, super early and see if we make it to the ending. You have to digest before moving ahead. Or you might lose control. Hey, man. Hey, we did it, though. We did it. We did it for volume 8. For volume 4. But it was a bad reading experience because I was like, I'm so fucking lost. You ain't digesting 13 chapters in one go, bro. Selling the end peak. No, don't worry. Our outro ended already. Remember, it's not about grasping the chapters, but by digesting. You're right. So we're gonna take it slow. We're gonna start really, really early, and we're just gonna take it chill. We're going to take a chill, and we're going to see how far we read. And if not, we go hard again Sunday morning before Wiz goes live. Finish 6, start 7, and that way I can at least say, hey, man, I started 7 when he finished 8. And then I feel somewhat good about myself. All right, I'm going to let you go, though. I'm telling you, you cannot, under any circumstances, do that. Hey, man. I guess we going to find out, huh? All right, man. I'll see you guys soon, man. Have a beautiful night or day wherever you live. And don't forget to go look at the beautiful full moon. All right, later, guys. Last time you didn't trust us and you regretted it. I know. One more, for old time's sake, right? All right, later, guys.